Good morning. Welcome to the porch. I want to do a quick opener here. We're going to put this on the front of this video, so I'm shooting this just a little bit later. But what I wanted to say to you is we're going to be doing some testing, and this testing has a reason behind it. And if you guys will stay with me till the end of the video, once we do all the testing, show you what that is, then we're going to do an explanation and show you a strategy that may work for you. So hang out until the end. It'll help us out in the YouTube algorithm, and it'll give you information that you need. You don't need just partial information. You need the whole story. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started videoing some stuff here. So hang on and stay with me. Good morning. Welcome to the shooting range this morning. We're going to be doing some velocity test on some of our ammunition this morning, some hard cast stuff that we want for heavy penetrators. And I'll show you what the two that we're going to test right quick. We're going to do a 3-round average. This is, see if I can get that camera to focus. 45 caliber and 10 millimeter. And we want to know how fast these things are running. Now tomorrow we're going to do a penetration test on those guys. And the penetration test, we're going to use 2x4s for that. But it looks like it's getting ready to rain right now, so we're going to try to get this test done before it starts raining. Again, there's the ammunition. Those are my hand loads. And we've got the things powder coated red. That tells us that they're hot rounds. Makes sense, don't it? Okay, we're going to go ahead and get started shooting. I'm going to step out here and turn my other camera on and let you guys see that part of it. So let me get out there and get that done, and then we'll get back here and we'll start shooting. We'll go ahead and shoot the 45 caliber first. It's a 185 grain hard cast, and we don't know for sure how fast they're running, but we're about to find out. No lock back. We got to figure out what's going on there. Did you get the readings on them? Okay. Now we're doing the 10 millimeter. All right, good lock back on that. Those things seem to be pretty potent. Okay, we're going to look at the readings and see what the average is, and then we'll start the video again and I'll tell you guys what the averages are. Okay, Wanda, give us the average on the 45 caliber first.
967.7.
967. Pretty hot for a 1911 45 caliber. I think I'm going to put a 16-pound spring in that gun for shooting those, just to make sure it doesn't damage my gun. So looking at 987 or 57?
967.
967. Okay, 45 caliber is a 967. Tell me what the 10 millimeter did.
1468.
Okay, 10 millimeter average 1468. A little hotter than I expected it to be. It's a 155 grain. I don't think I want to go any hotter, but that ought to do some serious penetration. Now, maybe late this afternoon or tomorrow morning, I'm going to go ahead and do some penetration tests using either 2x4s or 2x6s just to see how many they'll penetrate. I don't have any test gel made up right now, but that ought to tell us a little bit. And basically, these rounds are designed for going through barricades. If somebody gets behind something or something gets behind something, we'll be able to shoot through barricades. And we're going to leave one magazine loaded with hard cast when I'm carrying and one with hollow points. We'll talk about that a little bit more tomorrow, but that's kind of the way I've chosen to carry those rounds. Now, other people carry them different. I'll get into more detail about that. But anyway, let's go ahead and get everything put up before it rains, and then hopefully tomorrow morning we got some good weather and we can go ahead and do the penetration test. All right, guys, let's turn the cameras off for right now and we'll get started on some other stuff. All right, guys, here we are on day 2 of this video. And yesterday, of course, we did the velocity test on these rounds that we're going to be using for the future. And today we're going to do the penetration test. Now, we didn't do the penetration yesterday because it started to rain, yesterday afternoon, and we weren't able to do what we wanted to do. But nonetheless, we're going to do that today. Let me show you what we're going to be testing. This is the 45 caliber hard cast 185 grain projectile, and it's loaded pretty hot, and we're going to be shooting it out of this 5-inch barrel custom Rock Island. I built and tuned this gun myself, so it's a really nice gun, but that's one of the guns that we'll be using. We'll also be testing the 10 millimeter, and it is a 155 grain, also loaded pretty hot. I think trying to remember the velocities that we had, but anyway, you've seen them, should have seen them already on the front of this video. So we're going to be testing that. Now let me show you how we're going to test that. This is kind of a new deal for me, but I think it's going to work. Now here's what I built. I built this thing to shoot through. We're going to be shooting through these 2x4s to see what the penetration is. I can move these 2x4s out, put new ones in, pull them out and check everything. Now we built a little bit of a space right right back here. We're going to put sand in that. I don't think we'll need it. I don't think we'll ever penetrate all of these. And like I said, we're just going to see how many it'll penetrate. These are barrier busters. They're made to go through barriers in a firefight. So we're going to test them and see if they'll do what we want them to do. And if they don't, well, we'll start again. But you guys are going to be on board for the testing and everything. So what we're going to do right now, the 10 millimeter Kimber. 10 millimeter. I'm going to tell you guys, I love this Kimber. Now, we have a Glock 20, and it's a good gun. Nothing short about the Glock 20, but I'm telling you, I'm a 1911 guy, and I love this 10 millimeter Kimber. It's fun to shoot. But anyway, that's one of the guns we're going to be using. So let me turn off the camera here, get out there and set up my test block, and we'll get a video on the test block system here so you guys can see the projectile when it hits the block, and we'll just see how deep these guys really go. Okay, guys, let me get out and set some cameras up. Okay, guys, we got the 45 caliber. We're going to do it first, and we're going to put on some shooting glasses right quick because I'll need them to see the sights on the gun. But anyway, we'll do the 45 caliber first, and then we'll do the 10 millimeter. Okay, we're going to go out there and check that thing right quick. Okay, as you guys can see, we got a good hit on it. Pretty much dead center. Let's start pulling 2x4s and see what we've got. Okay, there's one. There's two. And there's three. We might be able to break this thing in half and see where that bullet's at. Hold on just a minute, I'm gonna have to set the camera down. Okay, we pulled that in too, and it went just a little over halfway through. And right there is the projectile. That hard cast held up really well. So that's our 45 caliber. So let me go set everything back up and we're going to do the 10 millimeter. So hang on just a minute. Okay, let's go ahead and do the 10 millimeter and see how it does. Okay, I'm gonna walk out here and we're gonna look at that thing. Okay, I hit it a little bit low on that one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, it went through 4 and into 5. So I don't know how deep it went into that 5th one, but anyway, I would have liked to have recovered the projectile. It doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that. Okay, let's go back to the shooting table and summarize this whole thing. Okay, guys, that's the testing. Now let's talk about what we're trying to accomplish here. I told you that we'd talk about that a little bit further on in the game. Again, here's the 45 caliber hard cast. Didn't do much damage to that bullet going through those 2x4s. And here is the 10 millimeter hard cast. Again, 155 grain and 185 on the 45 ACP. So, and of course the Timber is a 10 millimeter and the Rock Island here is the 45 ACP. Now let's talk about 45 ACP first. This is going to be my defense rounds here, and they're a 230 grain XTP, Hornady XTP bullet, running out at about 987 feet per second, which is pretty hot for a 230 grain bullet, and they perform very well as far as expansion and all that. Now, here is my barrier busters. This, of course, is the bullet that we just showed you, the 185 grain hard cast 45 ACP. And we carry one magazine, excuse me, one magazine of the barrier busters and one magazine of the expanders. And we'll explain the reason why just in a few minutes. So let's look at the 10 millimeter. This is the 10 millimeter. The hollow point is a V crown, and it is a 165 grain running at 1,325 feet per second. This is the hard cast 10 millimeter. It is a 155 grain, and I believe that it's running at 1460. That thing's pretty fast. But anyway, the first part of the video, we gave you all those numbers, so if you want to wind back and look at that, well, you can do that. Now let's talk about why we're doing this, and I'm going to change camera angles at this point. Okay, let me give you guys a bit of an explanation as to why I've decided to carry and design these rounds the way that I did. And we're going to talk about the 10 millimeter primarily right now. This 10 millimeter round is designed to go through barriers. As we can see, it went through 4 of the 2x4s, and it actually hit the 5th one, but it did not go in the 5th one. Actually found the projectile, but it did dent the 5th one, so it's got a lot of penetration to it. And of course, the hollow point V crowns, these things really expand and dump their energy fast. So I would use the V crown more as a defense round, and I'd be carrying that in my gun. This would be on my side on a holder pouch there as a backup. Now, why am I thinking this way? And I know this, I'm going to quickly say this. Some people will carry 1 or 2 hollow points and then they'll load the rest with hard cast. Not a bad plan. It works good. I've chosen to carry a different magazine because if I engage more than one target that's not behind barriers, I want this expander in there and I want plenty of them. So if they got behind a barrier, I would switch out of my magazine pouch into my gun and I'd put these guys in there. A person may say, well, that's a lot of switching out. Do you really want to do that? Well, I train a lot and I'm able to switch these mags out pretty fast. And so I'm not worried about it. If you're not able to switch your mags out that fast or you're afraid the pressure will cause you not to be able to, you might want to consider carrying 1 or 2 of the expanders and then the hard cast down farther in. Now, I'll tell you a quick story. You guys hang with me now because the story's worth hearing. It'll get you to thinking. I was working with a security team a few years ago and we got in a situation where it looked like we were going to have a firefight with 2 individuals. And I knew that this firefight was going to end up with these guys behind their car doors most likely. And that's where these things come in. You switch the mag out and you're ready to go. If you don't, this ammunition right here is a real threat stopper, but it's not much of a penetrator. Fact of the matter is, very likely it won't penetrate through a target, a 2-legged snake. And that's good because I don't want it to. I want it to dump all of its energy in the target. But if I've got to go through a car door or a wall or anything like that, that round's not going to do very good. This guy right here will get through it, as you can see. So, looked like we were going to get in a firefight. These guys had backed up their car and blocked the exit from where we were at. And my thoughts are they're going to get out of that car and they're going to have their doors open and they're going to shoot from behind those doors. So that got me to thinking, you know, I'm going to carry something to deal with that kind of situation. Now, this firefight didn't happen, and I'm glad it didn't happen, but it sure had the potential of happening, and it certainly made me think. Now, a person may say, well, did you not have the proper ammo at the time? I actually had some rounds that were kind of middle of the road. They were 200 grain 10 millimeter. I don't remember how fast those things were running, but I was pretty confident a car door wouldn't stop them. And they were still hollow points, and they would have done a decent job, but they wouldn't have done as good. I've tested those rounds, and they wouldn't have done as good a job as I'd like for them to do. So I've kind of changed up my strategy a little bit. Pretty much everything I carry, this, of course, being the 45 ACP, everything I carry is designed to take care of 2 worlds. It's a strategy. It's my strategy, and you may not agree with it. That's fine. I don't mind that at all. But it's the way I've chose to do it. And I think it'll work. I think it's a good strategy. And I've got the gun that's laying on my nightstand is 9 millimeter, and it's the same situation. I've got the hardball in one magazine next to it, and the loaded magazine that's in the gun has XTP hollow points. And the XTP, they are not the best hollow point, but they're pretty doggone good. They're I'd say, in my opinion, they're running 3rd place. But that's what I can get at my local dealer here is XTP, so I buy them from him. Anyway, having said that, guys, this is just information. You can do with it what you want to do with it. It's fun to test this stuff and try to figure out what it'll do. So if this video has helped you any at all, if you would, hit the subscribe button. We're trying to get this YouTube channel off the ground. It's starting to grow, but it just hadn't got there yet. Hit the like, hit the comment, and hit the share. All of those things will help us a whole lot. May God bless. You guys have a good day.